Welcome to the Candyverse. Today we're going to break an idea that's keeping a lot of people away from the interesting part. Web3 is not just money. If your only mental map of Web3 is buy cheap coins and sell high, you're missing about 80% of its potential. Yes, there's trading, speculation, green and red numbers, but reducing Web3 to that is like saying the internet is just email, because that was one of the first things people used. Web3 is, above all, a new layer of digital ownership and coordination. And that touches art, IP, culture, communities, characters, stories, everything the old economy struggles to understand and control. Think about what the creative world looked like before. You draw a character, you upload it to a social network. The platform decides whether it gets shown or not. If you get banned one day, your audience disappears. If someone steals your art, it's your word against theirs. You depend on algorithms, terms of service, and companies that change the rules every year. With Web3, another option appears. Your characters, your universe, your music, your comic can have an on-chain existence. Tokens, NFTs, contracts, programmable licenses. It's not an expensive monkey JPG. It's a way of saying, this piece, this character, has a verifiable origin, clear authorship, and can connect to many different apps without asking permission from a single company. Imagine a Candyverse character, for example. It's not just a nice drawing. It can be an NFT that proves you were an early supporter of the project, gives you access to exclusive content, events, votes, alternate storylines, lets you use the character in your own creations, based on the rights defined by the artist. That's living IP, not just a wallpaper sitting in a downloads folder. Web3 opens the door for art, stories, and communities to organize around shared ownership. Not just likes, but I own a part, I belong, I have a voice. And that's where it starts to separate itself from the typical crypto bro channels that only talk about prices, charts, and the next gem. Let's continue with why Web3 is not just money, and what it has to do with you if you draw, compose, write, or build worlds. In the old model, the formula was simple. Creator, platform, audience. Everything flowed through the funnel of an app. YouTube, TikTok, publishers, record labels. They set the rules, took their cut, and decided who got reach and who didn't. In Web3, you can make that relationship far more horizontal. An NFT can be your entry ticket to a creative club. A token can represent membership, not just speculation. A contract can define how value is shared when a piece of art or a character gets used. For example, imagine a collection of Candyverse characters, each one connected to a series of stories, to certain music, to a specific lore. Holders don't just own an image. They hold a key to go deeper into the world. Early access to comic pages, voting on which narrative path the story takes, participating in collaborations, official fan art, even co-creating derivative characters under clear rules. That's culture, not just trading. And at the branding level, this is where you separate yourself from the usual crypto bro crowd. While others only talk about buy here, sell there, 10x, 100x, you can talk about how Web3 allows an artist to avoid signing their soul to a platform just to live off their work. How a universe like the Candyverse can have on-chain pieces that survive even if a social network disappears. How people can feel like they participate instead of just liking and scrolling. Web3 is not just a giant casino. It's a new operating system for digital culture. Of course, right now there's noise, scams, and hype. Just like there were spam emails and awful pop-ups in the early days of the internet. But underneath the noise, there's a powerful idea. Creating worlds, characters, and stories where ownership, access, and participation don't depend on a single company, but on open, verifiable rules that can move across platforms. When you understand Web3 this way, you stop seeing it as a place to make quick money and start seeing it as a place where your art, your IP, and your community can grow deeper roots than any trending algorithm. And if you're a creator, that's pure branding. You're not the one talking about green candles. You're the one building a universe and using Web3 as infrastructure. If this video helped you see Web3 beyond coin prices, leave a like and share it with a creative friend who feels crypto isn't for me, just just because they hate trading noise. Subscribe if you want to keep understanding how art, IP, culture, and blockchain intersect. Follow me. This is the Candyverse.